Whoa! It should be up!
Wow.
That's crazy! Excitement, stimulus.
Oh.
Let me scream in the place that I scream in.
Oh.
They scream in the scream room.
In the screaming room.
Hey, Cockbook, you need to be a
Scream
small
paper
favor.
room. What?
Can you restart the music for me?
Gotcha.
I was living in silence and just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
Strategic wait till we start the stream.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
I didn't notice
always.
until now. I
Real-
was like, wait a minute.
Real
hold
quick,
on.
actually, just to check. Is it streaming to my channel?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, that's weird. Alright, hold on. It needs me to fucking log in again. That's so weird. Because I'm literally streaming to the channel, but for some reason it's not recognizing. Whatever, let me... And then I gotta do this because I have dual factor authentication. Whoa. Oh yeah, that's so weird. I don't know why it like I'm confused as to why it let me like actually start streaming on my channel, right? But for some reason it's like you're not logged in. That feels wrong, but you know, hey, we're all good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Gucci, that's Cash, that's Kino. Sorry for the low energy start, but that like confused the hell out of me. But yeah. Hello everybody, and welcome to another iteration of DBA Downtime, specifically short stories, a spin-off or offshoot of our weekly tabletop RPG run in the anime campaign or Epithet System known as Destruction Bench Agreement. Destruction Bench Agreement, or DBA as we tend to call it, is a tabletop RPG that is a role-playing game, and while it predominantly features a lot of combat scenarios, there's a whole other part to the role-playing game. That's the role-playing. And with DBA's setup being a weird TV show kind of in universe, it's a very weird environment. And what these DBA downtimes or short stories allow us to do is basically give us some time for RP, whether it be just shooting the shit between characters all standing in one location, or perhaps simply some sort of story-based cutscene or occurrence that's not being shown on the DBA cameras. It's our opportunity for little role-play things that we have with our characters that don't fit the norm of a traditional episode or session that we're doing here. And, yeah. Bada bing. With all that being said, this, as mentioned ad nauseum at this point, is a short story. So it's more of the specific event kind, as opposed to the characters all gathered in one place and kind of talking for what have you reason kind. And the specific event is the ending / epilogue to an older, I say older, but I mean in terms of numbers not very old, but in terms of time at this point fairly old episode of ours, 187, Copeland's Most Wanted.
An episode that fittingly took place back in the Paleozoic era.
So yeah, if you aren't familiar with this episode, I'm sure Kakpo can give a brief summation of exactly what's going on here. But this short story is serving as the little ending segment to that episode in case there was any burning questions you had regarding the resolution of that and how certain things would be, carried on henceforth. So we got the majority of the players from that party involved here, and most importantly, we got the GM of that session running this. We got Kakapo.
Hey, it's me, Kakapo. You may know me from GMing another set of sessions recently, Never Catch Me, and we'll get to why we're doing this instead of that right now, but I'm running this. It's been a while, but glad to finally get this done and dusted away, so yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. And for the most part, I'll just speed through it, not do the normal thing, just because, it's a short story downtime, it's a smaller scale thing, and in this case, especially more so than others, it's probably best that you have the context of the previous episode going into it. But for one, hey, I'm Patronix or Slay, whichever you prefer. I'm streaming this, so if there's streaming problems, let me know. I'll do my best to fix it, no matter how many times the problems come up. And as mentioned, we got a majority of the returning cast of 187, so we got Ballast with Hoshu, we got Gecko with Ryan, we got Iris with Second Comet, and we've got potentially some more people around. But with all that being said, unless I'm forgetting something, first off, if you're enjoying yourself and you want to know when, where, how, why, you can catch up with more of the things we're doing here on this Twitch channel, whether it's more DBA related things, perhaps the context in episode form for things like this stream that we're doing right here, or anything else. Make sure to join our funky Discord server. Find out, yo, there's the link. Whoa, there it is. Wowza, crazy. Go there to get notified when we're going live, post memes and fan art related to the streams that we're doing. Yeah, that's the place to go if you want to be in the know. With all that being said, I believe I can hand it over to Kakapo to, if you'd be so kind as to give us and the viewers a brief summation / recap of everything leading up to the point we're at right now. Has been a bit.
Yeah. It has been like 8 months, so just to give you all a recap. Episode 187, Copeland's Most Wanted, featured the signature man himself, General Copeland Marsh, leader of the Neo-Mesozoic Kingdom, sort of a one with nature, humans and dinosaurs living together kingdom. Oh yeah, he resurrects dinosaurs, that's his power. Sort of leading a kingdom of that. Basically had some grudges against some people he couldn't catch, so he hired DBA to do it. And at this point, they basically got everyone. Most relevant to this right now is this one Dr. Diane Monkabat over here, a scientist who Copeland had a feud with. He makes robots and all that stuff, and was recently captured by the party. And afterwards, the party scuffled with a powerful seeming tour guide figure, Matrix Commotion, who turned out to be one former criminal and gang leader, Laos, who has since been into a prison reform program and has grown in strength. And after the insanity that was his fight, combining multiple dimensions together and fighting the party on that, the party proved to him that they were serious enough to bring negotiations together, and having revealed all his cards, he decided to go along with it and actually square away the beef that he and Copeland have. And with him is his warden / coach / buddy, Izuru Andromeda. Also a very powerful figure, leads the Bloodstone Island place. And yeah, they're all heading home to Copeland's kingdom. The kingdom that is Copeland's.
Whoa.
So yeah.
We're all gonna cope together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, to set the stage, y'all are sitting in the plane, crowded with the items you purloined from Monkabat's raided laboratory before his enemies could snatch them. Pretty cramped. There's a billion fucking robots everywhere, and also your chauffeur for this journey, Mike Terrahart. He's been driving. He's not driving. He's been flying this helicopter. But he's kind of getting a little nervous because apparently, in the middle of you escorting Law's home, he decided to fucking race Izuru and shit like that. So he jumped out of the helicopter, and now they're doing Sonic Riders, sort of shit, loop-de-loops around the helicopter, and all that stuff. They're sticking near it, holding up their end of the deal, but just them doing that.
Right.
You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, feel free to RP in here.
Yeah. I'll just state, at least initially here for this starting segment, despite all the commotion going on in this cramped helicopter, airplane, what have you, I imagine right now, considering the fight against Laos and Pilot's recently awakened funky eyes and him seeing into all of the alternate dimensions at once, it's not a rare sight to see Pilot, sleeping around and looking disheveled and lazy, but, the best way I can describe it is that whereas with Pilot, you'd normally sleeping with, cartoonish snot bubble, or, in, some funny pose, he's normal conked out, which, he definitely seems actually exhausted.
Yeah.
Second comment just sort of is kind of ignoring the commotion and looking over the sleeping form of Pilot with just a neutral expression.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dr. Monkbat is, he's not on a chair, he's, leaned over, the broken form of, King Cannabis, destroyed in a much previous episode of DBA. He was still in the process of fixing it earlier today, and he's just been tinkering away at that. Well, what's up with Hoshuo/Ryan?
Well, Hoshu's just kind of gripping the sides of his chair because Izuru's existence being anywhere within a half-kilometer radius of it makes him very paranoid about the implications it might have to other people. So he's just I'm just going to try not to think about it.
Yeah.
Ryan is not doing anything of particular note. She's just chilling,
Yeah.
watching all this shit go down. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Just sort of you hear Dr. Monkbat doing in a sort of cartoon dust cloud, finishing up the last bits. All right, replace the glasses. Do all this and that, and fixing this last screw, and we're donezo. You're back online. As
Now, is it a dust cloud, Kakapo, or is it another?
Yeah. But the being known as King Cannabis sort of sits up, just sort of looks around. My oh my, what have I missed since the time I've last been online? Well, I'm getting arrested. It's just immediately it gets into combat. Combat position, Alright, sit down. It is fine, I'm accepting my fate. With valor and greatness. And upon that, King Cannabis just seems to look around and sit down. Just looking at everyone here, but still taking Monkbat's word for what it is.
Copeland is our friend, and I trust that his judgment is sound in this matter.
I do not remember much of this Copeland fellow. Though, seeing his face might jog my memory again. Actually. Points over to Hoshu. Speaking of jogging memory, I might have another guess for your epithet.
Alright, I guess.
To confide in privacy and make sure it's hidden, I'm going to whisper, whisper, whisper. He got it.
Yeah, no, that's it. As she's just kind of mumbling through it, fucking quest window appears. Da 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 da.
Oh my.
Can you post it, Kakpo, or should I grab it real quick?
Let me see if I have it on Monkbat's doc. No, I do not. Can you post it?
Yes, I can. I didn't mean to become Benjamin Brooks. I don't know why you did that one.
Oh, Benny!
There we go. Because this
Title.
was
Gil
for
is-
the quest, special quest, one of a kind accomplishment. Guess host yourself at 5 guild points.
Yeah. And I don't know. Does it stay in circulation now that he hasn't
Now that
revealed it to the public?
sure. Well, wait, no. I'll say only one more person can complete this quest as well. I'll say, effectively.
Gotcha. Yeah. I didn't want Monkbat to steal this for a potential PC, but you know. But yeah. But Guild Assistant Manager. Basically, you can administer quests now. Mighty interesting. I shall see what this power brings me. Thank you very much, Mr.
Shigoto.
Shigoto. Yes. Cool. Just sort of cross-legged, sitting on the floor, just sort of like tilts his head upward.
Yeah. After they work through that, Pilot's eyes slowly like flutter open a little bit. I feel upside down. What's the plane doing?
Nothing itself. I guess
Klaus and
guess
Andromeda are doing tricks outside.
yeah.
Right. How long has it been since we dropped off Emerald?
About an hour.
Half
and a
hour or
half.
so.
Alright.
A little bit like that.
Got
yeah,
it.
somewhere in between. This is, I don't call this a fast travel helicopter for no reason. We can, pretty good for globe scaling, but still takes a bit between stops. It's not like the fastest thing in the world. It just gets you from point A to point B quickly. So
Hey Ryan.
yeah.
Ryan, Gecko.
Gecko.
Muted.
I was unmuted and then I muted myself. Yeah. Red looks over. Yeah.
Have you heard from Boss?
She looks at her phone, shakes her head.
Okay.
I do not believe we received correspondence from Copeland.
No, the other Ryan and I's boss, not like our boss.
Ah, I see.
I mean, he's usually on this stuff.
All right.
DBA is filled with many.
Yeah, you go.
DBA is filled with many tertiary groups and organizations I do not have much data on.
Yeah. Ryan and I work for a thing. Try to keep it on the down low sometimes.
Hoshu also has a thing, I believe. She
Yeah, it's a different thing.
motions to her quest symbol. Or guild badge, I think it was called.
Yeah. The guild badge, yeah. Oh, guild coin is what it was.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, right.
Oh, yeah,
How we got time before we get to Copeland, or?
Well, we're getting close. Don't worry.
All right.
Like, yeah. I mean, probably have time to do like, I don't know, 1 to 2 things, but like, shrugs.
What would we do? What?
Yeah, as he says, you have time to do 1 to 2 things, right? Pilot just doesn't even like process that as he like takes his arm, wraps it around the back of the chair, and leans his head back. Actually, second comment, right?
Yes.
You, cause you were just talking about not having all the data on all this stuff, right? So you're like, you said you're like a robot data thing, right?
An android more precisely, but yes.
Right. So, alright, you're an android, so you're not like a data creature like some of the other people at DBA. You're more of like a...
I do not believe so, though. I'm not fully aware of my own origin.
Right. Yeah, cause, I don't know if you've, used the, he motions with his hands a little bit. The sketch pad I got you yet, but I was just curious, cause you were... You were saying, and it doesn't seem like you've seen a lot of stuff before, so I was just curious, like, how much of that was, like, what was what on that?
I haven't had a chance to observe this sketch pad as we've been fighting for our lives for quite some time.
Yeah, that's true.
She takes a look at it.
It's just a normal sketch pad that he brought in.
She sort of flips through it. I assume there are some drawings and such.
Yeah, it's maybe in like the first couple of pages there are some doodles and stuff that he did, but primarily it's been a bit obviously since we've done the session, but if I remember correctly, I had Pilot bring in just like, hey, when we were at the zoo in the Redwood town, we were talking about this, so I brought you your own sketch pad just to use and have.
Yeah,
so.
okay, I vaguely recall that now.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the sentiment.
Yeah.
Perhaps I could try drawing this Imperial Star Destroyer. Looks to the right.
Oh, yeah.
Be careful with those. They're quite important to my research.
I see.
But yeah, I guess I just wanted to figure out and like know exactly what was going on there, because I mean, if there's all this stuff you haven't seen yet, I mean, it would be a shame if you didn't get a chance to figure it all out for yourself.
Well, I presume that this body is relatively durable enough to allow me to observe quite a few things at a relatively fast pace.
Yeah.
I did observe one other being of eerily similar makeup to my own at this organization, which has... She kind of looks down. I'm not sure what to make of it or how it fits in with my mission.
Well, actually on that, your name is Second Comet, right?
It is my designation given by Koalea and the other data beings who have taken me in, as it were.
I forget if I asked this already, but was there like a first one?
I believe that that would be this other being that I have observed, yes. I heard potential rumors of such things even before seeing her for myself.
Right.
But I don't know where exactly she is, and most of my time is taken up by my duties, so I haven't pursued the matter further.
Right. Well,
Perhaps if you see them, you could let me know.
yeah, if I see the first comet or whatever, I'll let you know. I don't know. I don't think I've ever met someone that looks quite like you before, but I guess
She does not look entirely identical, but she does have similar eyes.
right. But yeah, I guess I was just gonna say, like, you know, if you are an android, like you're saying and everything, you know, obviously keep doing your job and your duties, but again, it would suck if you didn't get a chance to, like, have a little fun, you know?
Fun. I have been attempting through this mission, as well as other activities, to collect more data on the activity you refer to as fun.
Yeah.
I will say that I did find it satisfactory to defeat our opponent as we did.
Well, that's good.
I also believe the correct term would be enjoy your company as well as Hoshu, Brines, and Emeralds,
Right.
Copelands.
Well, don't
I
mention
feel that
it.
there's a lot to learn from all of you,
He,
despite your current level of exhaustion from the fight. She kind of looks down at him. You know, I imagine he's like slumped all along the seat,
he's
so-
slumped along the seat. I imagine his little, like, hair doinker occasionally, like, twitching as little hairs are, like, frayed out of place. Yeah, I wasn't, this whole new opens his eyes for, like, a second, right, before, immediately closing them again because he's mixed sleepy. This whole points to them eye thing is new, and that was a lot. But, you know, I'm fine. I just needed to sleep a little.
She removes her own mask as though mirroring what his action for a moment before
Yeah.
putting it back on.
Yeah. Eye buddies.
I see. Your eyes grant you odd powers, do they not?
I guess. They do now, yeah.
It's important to conserve energy during battle, so perhaps a reassessment of your battle strategies might be useful.
Yeah. Now that I've done this, I think I can work it out. I mean, it's very useful. It's just a lot. I mean, I couldn't see that far before.
Or perhaps, she puts a finger to her chin. Do your own powers allow you to circumvent the side effects associated with using your powers?
You see, that's the first thing I thought of. Normally, that's how I kind of do things, right? Is like, oh man, there's something in the way. What if there wasn't? Takes his pen and writes something in the air. Like, it looks like he's, like, about to write a word, but it goes into sort of, like, gibberish, whatever. As I imagine it, like, weirdly, like, falls as if the letters were, like, physical objects, right? But,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is a little bit different. I'll figure it out.
I see. So you could not merely write the word inexhaustible on yourself or something like that.
I could, but it probably wouldn't work for ever. I mean, I might do that, like, now, and it'll make me a little bit more awake now, but...
I assume it would be rather expensive, but you could look into getting some artificer or otherwise to make you a pair of glasses, which lower the power within your eyes while worn, and you can just take them off to counteract it necessarily?
Maybe. I think I'm quite fine right now. Just, well, not right now. I'll be fine. I'll work with it. It's just that, like, I just, like, saw into, like, 6 dimensions or something all at once. It was kind of multifarious, and saw,
Right.
like, infinite possibility or whatever for an extended period of time, so it was a little disorienting. I think I just need some time.
Well, we're getting close. We're getting like we're touching down on base. So yeah, get ready, everybody. As Mike tops over the intercom. All right, we got everyone here. As well as Monkbed and I guess Matrix is tagging along too. But yeah, yeah, remember the deal with Matrix. As he sort of taps it. Alright. We're good. And yeah, unless there's anything anyone else especially wants to do in the helicopter, I'm gonna make sure. Gonna make sure everything looks good on this map. And yep. And yeah, we'll transition over. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So as soon as you touch down, you the shit is. Did that not fucking upload? Damn it. Come the fuck on, Roll20. Okay, and as you guys are touching down on the base, you see you know, the vast jungles sprawled out and all that, as well as that's not the fucking track. As you're back at the place. However, shit. There we go. However, as you guys are making it there, please.
It's fine.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. But you guys make it there, you touch down, and as soon as you do, you walk out. Tell me when you all get in. You see, at the entrance.
Oh, that's a lot of dinosaurs.
Yeah. You see the army ready as, they immediately growl and walk up and immediately arrest Monkabat. Whoa! Ow! Carl. And they fucking...
Target
fucking drag
apprehended,
him off.
she says.
Yeah. Yeah, and they fucking all, like, drag him off.
See you soon, Monkbat.
The others, quickly follow. And all that. The other two are a bit too unprepared to, walk out.
That just scared me, considering they didn't do that for the other ones.
You see, it was kind of hard for that to happen to the other ones, considering your helicopter crashed,
Yeah.
the other time, so...
Fair enough.
Like, yeah, the Ronin woman, like, literally started a fight in the helicopter and it crashed, so... procedures are a bit different.
Right, so, we need to go, talk to Copeland, yeah?
She just looks in the air at presumably Lass and Neezer still just doing donuts or some shit.
They do, and the lexical boards they were seeming to ride seemed to vanish as they just drop to the ground, slide down the mountain, and ship up. All right, hey everybody. Just sort of walks to the other side, flips guns. All right, so guess I'm talking with your guy,
Yeah.
Copeland. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Actually, you know, if we're going to be doing this and all that, you don't have a beef with former criminal Lars Laus. You got a beef with Matrix Commotion, as he seemingly like glorps into clay and then like reforms, looking a bit different. All right.
Right.
Yeah. And Izuru just sort of like also like floats along, touching base. Alright. I'll be here as a mediator, but I'll mostly be letting the two of you talk things over, and I'm sure you guys can fill everyone in on the situation. Yeah?
No offense, but I don't know if a nuclear warhead walking in really screams mediation to me.
Hey, listen. Listen, come on, man. I know I'm strong, I know I'm stupid powerful, I mean, that's what years upon years of trying to get you. I feel like the difference between a nuclear warhead and the difference between us two is, we're people. We got fucking souls and all that shit.
My
I know not
point
to just...
just being is that Copeland is an epithet user, and he just kind of looks at the ground,
yeah.
sweats.
Is that just sort of like... Oh, is that how you think that works? Teleports right next to you. Just sort of like as Hoshi steps back, Izuru steps forward, puts a hand on his shoulder, pats him on the head. See, not dead. That's not how it works. Don't worry about it. As I mentioned, I got control over my shit.
You know, actually, sorry, no, you go.
Yeah, just tips head, and as his former teacher, guardian, and I don't know, I'd like to think I know him well enough. I don't think anyone would argue when I say that mediation isn't something I can do, is something I can do, right? Like, just sort of looks around. Again, this isn't like an attempt of intimidation. I am fine with pushback against a role. I did literally call it myself, but regardless, yeah, pilot.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, right? And if it's as simple as don't do that, like, feel free to tell me, right? But considering the shit with it and with what Hoshu is mentioning, right? If Pilot was to look at Izuru with his special eyes, right, would trying to see what exactly the shit is with the Lexicide shit just be like no buenas and I should close my eyes? Or would I be able to glean at it simply because I am looking at it, you know?
I will say, basically what Izuru is saying is pretty much correct. Like, he does seemingly have, like, a lot of, like, harness over it. It's pretty concentrated near his body at the moment. Like, what do you want to get out of this?
I'm just curious if there's anything, like, is there anything, like, weirdly specific that I can, like, see off of it other than it bad for Epithet, right? Can I, like, see, is it, like... Is it the devil's soul coating or anything like that? Anything like more specific than this is the bad juice, or like?
Yeah, like what kind of materials is it made of?
Yeah.
You know, etc.
Yeah. I will say, your eyes kind of hurt looking at it a little more than beforehand, but from what you can glean, you know what, like, I'll say this is what the information you'll get at this moment of shit going on, so. Effectively, what you can glean is that something about the Lexicide radiation, even if Izuru is, like, harnessing it, it is physically responding to the epithets surrounding. Like, as if it were, like, aware of them, despite being a radiation.
Yeah, so it has a weird, almost pseudo-sentience.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Psychic energy,
yeah,
almost.
that's very interesting. It's not just radiation. It seems to in some way like have like a okay, all right.
Yeah.
It's separate from his own epithet, or is it entwined with it?
Well, Izuru doesn't have an
an
epithet.
epithet.
Yeah, Izuru is a Mundi. He
I
just
forgot about that.
yeah.
Okay.
It's the whole thing with Izuru is that through whatever means that we don't know of right now, he is somehow able to warp this fucking Lexicide radiation to meet his whims, right? Which is why I was curious if it's
I forgot
like
he didn't have a power of his own.
yeah, which is why I was curious if it was like the demonic pact poison or something, but knowing that it has a weird pseudo-sentience definitely is an interesting tidbit, so I'm fine leaving it there unless there's anything else you can tell me. But...
Yeah. No, I'll leave it at there, just because of how she
Alright.
is.
No, that's fine.
Second comment kind of like looks to Pilot, looks back, looks to Pilot. Are you gathering data of some kind, Pilot?
Yeah, you could say that. I was just curious, because I've heard all this, weirdo stuff about, the stuff Hoshu's talking about, so I was just curious to see if I could, like, you know, see anything about it. It's interesting. Yeah, I'm doing, like, data collection.
Well, I do have my own intuitions, shall we say. But I'm not sure if I can glean anything about that man in particular.
I don't know. If I get more curious, I can just try and look into it myself, I guess.
Ryan, dude definitely was eavesdropping. Walks up. Maybe it's ghosts. Gives a nod, like, yeah, I'm definitely right. Like,
Yeah, could be ghosts. I mean, like with what I was seeing, it seems more like ghosts than I thought it was.
Perhaps she like looks to Ryan and there's a shing across her mask. Magical ghosts.
there's a like Ryan doesn't emote, but there's a look in her eyes, like she stops and a neutral expression comes back, like, oh fuck, I didn't think of that.
I assume Izuru is not just. It was magic the whole time, idiot.
Probably not. But yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I imagine with that, Pilot will, like, you know, start walking, put his hands in his pockets just to, like, start walking down the stairs here and, make way as to both not look suspicious, but also, like, we gotta do something, so.
To look fishy, but not suspicious.
Exactly.
You know, Nala, like...
Yeah.
But yeah, Laws is interacting with Alter Spinax and seemingly communicating with it. Izuru is just waiting for you guys. Like, come on, like.
Yeah, it's just, I'm coming, jeez.
You'll probably need to move Ryan for Gecko, but yeah.
Ah, yes. Will do. But yeah.
Greetings.
Yeah. Let's get going. Come on, Laos. Just continues moving forward, and Laos is like, well, see you later, friend. As he does like the pizza face hop and vaults over Alder's Vinex, like.
I see.
Yeah.
Second comment holds out her hand like fucking Chris Pratt, like petting this thing on the forehead, but then moves on.
Yeah, like. Yeah. So, y'all can just put yourselves there, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just
you're going to Copeland. You mean we don't want to talk to like Bakode Draco over there?
Yeah. Of course.
Or eat some eggs, dog? Like,
Yeah. And Izuru just, is sitting by the thing. Just sort of motions for y'all to get inside, so,
Yep.
Greetings, have
greetings, Copeland. There is a Class 5 reality bender outside this door, so
Yo.
I suggest you... I hope that you have...
Oh,
I hope that you have
5.
given way to a more cooperative mood since earlier. She kind of, like... She doesn't, like, glare, but, like, kind of, like, slightly pouts at him. But, yeah.
Yeah. well, Law's, like, teleports in. First off, 5, that's a bit low. Second off,
It is with my own internal cataloging.
Yeah,
I gotta
she's
tune
got
that
like
up
a
then.
system.
Oh yeah, gotta tune that shit up then. Anyways, hi Copeland. Love being here again. Just sort of like extends a handshake. Copeland just sort of
Grief levels.
yeah, Copeland just sort of like leans against the board here. Why didn't the guards apprehend him again?
That's a good question. I was honestly a bit curious, but also he was flying above them, so I guess they were just focused on Monkbat. Regardless of that.
Oh, right, Monkbat's in the prison. I get to laugh at him.
I
But,
believe it would also be pertinent for you two to converse.
and at this point, Izuru steps in, like,
And kills us all. Fucking
yeah.
whip, dude. We're dead.
Like, Izuru Andromeda, this man over here, while he also sometimes goes by, let me drag her. Yeah. While he sometimes does go by Matrix Emotion, he also, the name he mainly goes by is, Louse, former criminal, under my care, so during this conversation I shall be mediating Keisha Kneka and potentially also help with the negotiation in case either of you can't do that yourself. But just consider me a guest if it doesn't come to that. Well, it's just sort of taps foot. All right, so Matrix. Well, at Matrix, and in this whole fucking costume thing, I like having my gig of showing people the world and shit. I imagine that's my whole deal.
I you the war.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And well, to me it kind of just, as I mentioned before, just so we can lay out our terms again. To me, it just seems improper for you to shut off your country like this. Not only does it kind of read as to be as shady as shit, but also, most ideal free world don't have borders. At least not the way we have them right now, and, in fact, you're just shutting off people like this. Well, you can't blame someone like me for coming along and trying to do away with that, bullshittery. Copeland just, at this point, just sort of looks at Second Comet like, yeah. Like, just sort of looks back at Matrix. Well, I've said my reasons so far, but just to lay it out to you again. Yeah, I understand that's the ideal. But again, this is meant to be sort of a free nature society. The outside world is even getting a foot in. They're going to exploit the shit out of this place. And you can imagine you can imagine how bad that would be. So, waves out hand. Shutting it off from the just shutting it off and actually, wait, why am I even using their language? I'm not even shutting this place off to everyone. People want to join this community, they can. They just have to, you know, it's just tourism I don't like. Tourism and foreign companies and all that other bad stuff. If you want to be here, go ahead and live with us. But you can't just have it both ways. Alright? At this point, Matrix just sort of sits down, kicks the chair back, puts his feet on the table. And see, I get where you're coming from. But how the hell are people even going to know about this place if you don't even publicize yourself? If your cause is so good, to what?
We weren't just on national television.
Just sort of. Yeah, but like, come on. It's national television, but people think it's still fictionalized. It doesn't count.
It's
right?
still like a place, even if the events are. I don't.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
just,
look at this! I found a cool fictional company on TV. Ooh, man, that means it's definitely real. I'm gonna like look into it and immerse myself in the community
hey,
instead of thinking that they made it up for the sake of TV, like they usually do.
Yeah. Hey, Copeland.
What?
If you're so worried about this guy's tours like exploiting your place, why don't you if you want to show people this place and have people come to live here, I mean, you could work with the guy, right? The two of you work together, you can make some sort of tour to show off the best parts of it so that, you know what's going on there, and there's, I don't know, some supervised thing about it. And all the same time, Matrix gets to show people this place if he wants.
Copeland does sort of lean on that for a bit.
Second Comet's head is just veering back and forth to whoever's talking, like she's watching a tennis match.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like...
Still,
Because, like, what Matrix is saying is right in that, like, if people don't know about the place, then they wouldn't come here to live here. But, I mean, I understand if you're worried about this place getting grazed over by tourists who don't care about any of this place for, like, what it actually is. But, I mean, if you work with people and set up, like, some official tours or whatever, then... Just shrugs.
just sort of. Yeah. He just sort of like leans on that and all. Still, would not any tour be an instant commodification of this land? That's kind of the whole point of this place, is to get away from all that. And at least from how he's ran his tours in the past, it certainly seemed exploitative. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, come on, man. You gotta show some pizzazz. Else they ain't gonna pay attention. My point exactly.
Dinosaurs? Why would you need pizzazz?
Dinosaurs have lots of pizzazz, she says.
Exactly! See, this one gets me. Like, listen, I understand I understand all your reservations. Like, believe me, I truly, truly do. However, your total and absolute restriction, like, this absolutionist sort of thing ain't going to do you any good in the long run. Like, think about it. If people don't know this place exists, it's only a matter of time before some other foreign military wants to take advantage of all these resources and use them for themselves.
Would what you are doing prevent that in some way?
Well, I mean, more recognition of this place means more activists and more general positive feedback.
That wouldn't
There
stop
go.
the military.
Which military? There's dinosaurs here.
And as we all know, they're the strongest military force there is. I've seen Jurassic
Yeah.
World.
Yeah.
Second comment kind of looks down a bit. I'm afraid I am grossly unfamiliar and underinformed on world politics and interactions of this kind. But judging by the general tone of this conversation, I believe that Copeland's perspective is likely akin to when I perform my duties in the DBA database, when there are viruses and glitches to eliminate, it isn't necessarily because every virus in of itself is harmful or majorly debilitating, but viruses are rarely content to merely exist and perform a simple function. One compromising flaw can lead to many others, and they will spread and propagate themselves until the problem becomes too much to handle. So, I believe Copeland is merely concerned that it would be she cocks her head a little bit, a slippery slope of sorts.
Exactly. Listen, I appreciate your bright-eyed optimism, but frankly, I have seen too much of what happens when you let one foot into, not kindly whenever I see the bud starting to sprout. So, yeah.
Well, actually, Copeland, not to, like, keep throwing wrenches into your, grand plan here, but... So, you want people to come here and live here, right?
Of course, yes.
Right.
I'd like all species to live under my kingdom eventually.
And so the part about, Matrix tours that you don't like is that you don't like the concept of commercialized tours. You don't like the money part, right?
I don't like that. I don't like how everyone's, like, gawking at people living their lives, and also, yeah, commercialization and general unawareness from ignorant tourists.
I mean, looks over to Matrix. You were saying the reason you do your stuff is because you wanted to show people places, right? It's not even like the money. You just want to show it off.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the money's also, very good. I mean, this is my job. This is one of my jobs, after all. But,
Firing, mate. No.
It's...
yeah. But, yeah, at the forefront, I do want to show people stuff, so... Guess if I have to give up the money, but, like, how the fuck else am I supposed to curate it?
I mean, I don't know.
Just sort of thing.
I mean, if you're talking about curating stuff, I mean, if you do the official tours like I was suggesting earlier as a potential solution,
He looks back over to Copeland.
then if you're working together, Copeland will know every single person that goes on a tour, right? So if there's anyone he doesn't want in, he can exclude them.
Yeah, sure. I don't see why not. And I mean, hey, it's not like we don't have to stop charging money. I mean, I can also give it to you. Just points to Copeland. You strike me as someone who like really likes money. Come on.
Because if you're worried about
Come on.
if you're worried about the wrong people getting in here, I mean, if you know who's coming in here, then it won't be any different than someone coming to live in the country normally.
Copeland does sort of think this over, stewing it. I'm in no state to think this over. I'm just gonna go and make fun of Monkbat. I'll be back. Just sort of
that note, quickly, if I could
pushes past. Yeah, like he's going. We'll get to this conversation in a bit, but I want to do something first.
I guess I'll just talk
Yeah,
to him
yeah.
about that after he points and laughs.
I mean, you're following him is what's gonna happen. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I don't worry. I have a structure for this. Don't worry. Would anyone else follow Hoshu?
Nah.
I think second comment's more gonna keep an eye on things here.
Yeah, for sure. Then sort of yeah, let me set up these other two tokens here as okay. Yeah, I'll fucking drag the other two over. Cause yeah, Copeland storms off. He's a pretty fast guy, and Hoshi tries to catch up, but
Now I'm imagining his
Small.
legs forming the like infinity sign of Sonic, you know?
yeah.
Hoshu dashing after Copeland. Maybe if I distract him by just give me a second. I had a stupid joke idea. Let me just
Yeah.
let's see. What did I make? Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Give me a second. As he tries to is like, can this work? Fails the action. Well, nope, gotta keep running.
yeah. And eventually you get over to the prison sector, which for now is a giant pit. As these dinosaurs just chuck Mogbat into the pit.
Ah, another one. Good. More people.
Ah, yeah. Fucking initiation time, alright?
Initiation time.
Please don't hit me.
Oh! Oh, you said my kill word? Ha! Just runs over to
Giuseppe, please, no, not again!
Oh God. If
just
only
sort of
Look, I'll pay you. I'll take you on a tour of the Dino Land. I know Copeland likes that.
I'll take you on a tour with my knee!
Oh God, my spleen.
Just sort of like flips up in the air and does like
Where's my
just
fake
does like a
mustache? Oh,
it does like a fucking like fire hose carry and slams him into the ground like, oh my, such great potential, as he like cowers back, viewing it all as
You-
Yukimura wails on Giuseppe.
masked man. Help. I'll give
rather
you.
observe
He
the-
rummages in his pockets, pulls out an incredibly shitty and obviously bootleg Garfield keyring. This. It's my
I'm not
prized
big on this.
possession, and by that I mean it's one of the things I sell in my store.
And Giuseppe is just like, sort of like almost like sign flipped like by Yukimura. Like,
Oh God!
yeah, these other two
Not
robots.
again!
are trying to.
I am not advertisement.
I don't know what those words mean, but I will. But just sort of like flips them.
Yeah. I don't know what those
Lady-
words mean. Yukimura says in sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lady Lasagna and
Seeing
Firefall
this
are
shit,
trying.
Lady Lasagna, yeah.
Yeah, Firefall and Lady Lasagna are trying to push in, but the dinosaurs are holding them back. They're strong, but the dinosaurs are also strong.
She's.
I
sorry. Sorry, you go. You go.
And with this, I will say at this point, Copeland enters, sees what's going on, as he just sort of like pushes on ahead, just points and laughs at them. Haha,
You
you're in
dick!
the pit. Oh, I'm the dick? Who's... I'm sorry, who's being sign flipped like a little...
When I get out of here, I'll make a
Yeah?
comical costume of you.
Unfortunately, that would be very racially insensitive. So, double cancel.
Like a big
4 years
mascot
in jail.
costume.
Just points at him again, like. Yeah, Hoshi could come in at this point. Oh, Margaret, you're down there. Haha, you're in jail. Look at you.
You're at least 20 years older than me, and not an enhanced martial artist. How do you run so fast?
One can say that
Dinosaurs
my
are very
specialty
fast.
is bones, such as my leg bones.
I've got Dino DNA.
Yes, you see, Horseshoe, the dinosaurs are very fast, and I have learned from the dinosaurs. So,
Why didn't I become a Baronix? I'm an idiot.
yes,
I
you are.
move with the speed of
Anyways.
extinction.
Speaking of laughing at Monkbat,
Yeah.
I
You wanna
was-
laugh at him? He's down there. Look at him. Haha.
No, actually, I believe we mentioned it when we were telling you that we had got him, but the country, as you had said, that he was in, it was currently in the middle of war and so on, and so they were trying to capture him themselves, so we effectively extradited him.
Yeah.
As an aside, though,
But he's in my jail now.
I
So that is. Yeah.
I would appreciate if we could talk about transferring him from here to my homeland, actually. That way he could have his technology put to use to try and benefit the lives of my friends and family and everyone else within the country. Especially considering there are a lot of monsters and otherwise, which are, I would consider, unique resources for him to try and turn into fuel sources. Like, I feel like red herring oil would be an interesting design, at the least.
Giuseppe is crawling towards Hoshu. You need someone to go to your home country and make millions of dollars? I'm your guy.
As Giuseppe says that, like from the sky, like just like Yukimura like leaps on leaps onto him.
Why are you still in here? You can leave at any time.
No.
You're
Just sort of
stronger
looks
than
up.
the dinosaurs. Oh,
Wall's too high. Sorry, can't do that.
you leapt 30 feet.
Yeah, vertically. Just sort of like waves our hands in the air like duh.
I can't air
Well-
dash.
Wall's 31 feet, sorry.
I fucking hate you all. Hate dinosaurs. Form a union.
Oh, hate dinosaurs? 70 more years! Haha! Laugh at them. Just,
Ugh,
damn, dude, you got 70 more years? Haha, loser.
shut the fuck up. I can't believe I suggested a union. Oh god.
Also, as an aside,
How far I've fallen! Sorry.
Yeah.
30 feet.
whenever we confirmed to Monkbat about why he was on your list, it seems like he has understood that making dinosaur bones into a fuel source, one, didn't work, and two, is not something he will be doing anymore. So it's not like you have to worry about him repeating that offense, as it were.
Yes, I've been mostly silent, but this lady terrifies me, and, if...
Also, do
If
you
you're still hung up at the-
recognize him now that you can see him, by the way, Monkbat?
Yeah, since you brought up the whole dinosaur bone fuel thing, I do believe that, yeah, I do believe I know who we're talking about here, yes, just sort of starts crawling on the walls, but they kind of slip and he falls down. But, yes, while that boozer is being wailed on, I think I might have some time to plead. So, yes, that was sort of a fringe project back before I knew how exactly to access fuels, and I am sorry about our little scuffle we had back there. If you're still hung up about that, fossil fuels are officially off the list. It is very evil and very bad to even attempt to do that.
You're stupid.
10 more years. So, just looks down.
Magic man.
Just innocent men.
I'm innocent, man. Just me.
Yukimura spins him like a Beyblade and, like, kicks him to the other side. And dashes after him.
I regret having a sturdy body. And that's it.
If I had become pulp by now, she'd be bored of me.
What did I do to deserve this? I mean, specifically.
Exactly.
Yeah. What do you think about dinosaurs? Well, I thought they were interesting species and all that, but it seems you've raised them from the dead, and now they get to have their second shot, and I mean, I guess I'm an official moderator of the Second Chance Guild, so shrugs. I mean, I can understand second chances, you know?
Oh, yeah, no, by the way, Copeland, technically speaking, he's your superior now within the guild because he had a quest to guess my epithet and did so, so he's now an assistant guild manager in case. I don't assume that means anything to you, but I just figured I guess I should put that on the table as well.
Nothing directly superior, just, I'm also here if you want to take quests, from what I could understand of my newfound ability.
Yes.
Quest to get out of here.
No.
Just sort of puts up a finger. Now, before you interrupt me anymore, all your thoughts about dinosaurs. Would you ever use them as fuel, living ones? No, I mean, I don't usually use... Well, like, unless like, you plan on using snake power.
Snake power, huh?
Just sort of, just thinking.
I'm now imagining a snake, like, but in like a big hamster wheel,
Yeah.
right? Like, like.
Well... Alright, if you're not gonna... Listen out, snake power is one thing, but dinosaur power, don't do that. If you promise me absolutely to not do that, and also you think dinosaurs are cool and deserve rights, and also that the goals of the Neo-Mesozoic Kingdom are also super cool, because, kind of points at Mask, because you have allegiances to someone else. And, yeah. And yeah, kind of turns to Hoshu. Yeah, I recognize that fucking symbol. Not cool, by the way.
Hey, what?
if you renounce your previous government, work, you can work under Hoshu and all that. You're not gonna do fossil fuel. You're not gonna do you're not gonna look for like actual oils and shit, because that's corrupt as fuck. And also, you think dinosaurs are cool. Sure, I'll put you on parole or whatever, but we're gonna keep a close eye on you. You know, now that I'm out of the, Hoshu, how invadable is your place? Your kingdom or whatever?
On a technical level, somewhat. On a logistical level, very, very not. The easiest way to even enter or exit the country is by boat on a river, which can very, very easily topple most ships. So you have to take boats of only, like, a handful of people at a time. And that is the easiest way to enter the country. And even then, there is still difficulties with it. And then, as mentioned before, filled with monsters. Also, just on a general note, it's also not very comfortable for most of it, because as you... In the Tuesday incident, as I had mentioned, it is for at least most of it, it's a rainforest as well. And as you mentioned, it's not really a common thing to have rainforest climate within the Eurasian continent, so it's climate whiplash, to say the least.
Well, I don't know what Tuesday thing you're... Yeah. Well, I don't know what Tuesday thing you're talking about, but...
I mean, when it was...
No, regardless. Looks up to Copeland.
Oh, that was...
It appears we have a deal.
That was Monkbat saying that. I thought that was Copeland saying that. Sorry.
Yeah,
Their voices are fairly similar.
Yeah. It appears we have a deal. Our friend here is going to provide me safe harbor, and I won't do any of the bad things that you've ever said. Just sort of pulls on mask. I prefer to keep this on until you can find me something better. Deal. As long as you understand that your state's corrupt as fuck. Yeah. Just sort of toss. Now, what if? Well, actually, no. He's gonna toss down his whip. What if the tip of my whip was like a long dinosaur?
Is that a euphemism?
No, it's now a long dinosaur. Get on up here. There's like an Elasmosaurus head seems to like reach down, and Monkbat pulls onto it, and Copeland hoists him up.
Using my epithet, what if I swapped places with Monkbat? It doesn't work. He doesn't have an epithet.
The dinosaurs pull out their guns and begin and like.
Oh yeah, their guns.
Yeah, and like
Not
do like a
again.
firing squad line right here.
Where would they hold?
Okay, that's
Where were those hidden?
Why do they have guns? They have very
Okay,
sharp
that's-
teeth and tiny hands.
okay, that's also why I can't get out of here. They all have guns. They shoot me.
Oh god, shoot her, not me.
Neither of us. I'm having fun. Kicks him like a soccer ball.
You bounces.
Yeah.
Ow!
Well, I'll fucking leave. I'll fucking leave Monkbat with you, and all that. Cool. I'll figure out what to do with these other two soon enough.
Hey, Jeffrey, get me out. Pull me out of here, Jeffrey. You can do it. I believe
This is
in
not a
you.
grenade.
Why do you have a grenade?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
You
dodging
didn't
grenade
even
favorite.
pull the pin. Now I have a grenade.
Yeah, just sort of Yukimura is just like, oh yeah, let me get that for you.
No! They fight over the grenade for a bit. Yukimura
Yeah,
probably wins.
But yeah, let's go back.
Dinosaurs are terrible workers.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I think I've cooled my head enough and resolved that situation at least. So yeah. And yeah, let me just
I guess as we're coming back, I don't, Monkbat, I don't know if you have any suggestions, considering I assume you, through osmosis, more or less understood the Laos situation on our way over here. If you have any personal suggestions that Copeland might be able to take into consideration.
I mostly stay out of politics. Person who keeps me clothed and fed is good in my book. So.
All right.
And
Figured
allows me
I'd
to,
put that out
and
there.
just and allows me to continue my research, of course.
Mhm.
So. Yeah, let me make sure everyone's in place and yeah, just the other two robots follow you, but they're a bit far back. But yes. And yeah. Anyone else wants to do before this next funny segment?
I would like to get out of prison.
Go back to prison.
That's
Penny.
awful, Giuseppe.
No.
Oh, my bones.
Yeah. But if nothing else, Copeland would return. Alright, back. Any other... Just sort of goes back to his place in the front.
Have you come to a decision of some kind?
I've at least identified my problem with the overall situation.
Second
Because,
comment
yes.
kind of like taps on the table to wake Pilot up.
Yeah.
Right.
Because yes, I understand working hand in hand with Matrix over here would could be good for my bottom line. However, it's as you said, second comment. It's I want to nip any problem at the bud. For the sake of protecting my people and all that. And as I'd like to expand, I'd also want to keep any threats out. And as much as the motives are altruistic, yes, my dinosaurs are strong and my people know how to fight. And I don't know, I think I'm reaching a threshold of power myself, so we got me as well. Still. There are plenty of world powers that are far more armed with technology we don't have here. That could easily take things over if they wanted to draw things out. Could go into... At best we could hope for a drawn-out guerrilla war, but even still, that would mean losses for us, and you see why I don't want to do this.
I mean, I guess if you're so scared that it's going to lead to war, then I guess.
Or exploitation.
don't believe any
But, yeah.
gorillas inhabit this island.
It's, well, first off, second comment, we're not an island. It's in the middle of the Amazon.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was on.
Yeah. Just gotta keep saying that. It's
I'm just
mainland.
Don't worry.
Yeah, no, it's fine, but,
Technically, everything's an island.
yada yada. If no one else has anything to retort, Copeland,
Yeah, I mean,
Izuru would,
you go.
Okay, well, first off, Pilot, go.
I mean, no, all I was gonna say is, well, I've, yeah, no, I mean, I think I've said everything that I, could bring up as a possible counterpoint to whatever it is that you're saying, so at this point, I'm not sure if, and then I imagine, Izuru.
Yeah. He just puts up two fingers and sort of points at Copeland. So what you're saying is that you need more defenses. Well, sure. That'd be helpful. And if you were to get said defenses and ensure yourself a solid entity, then all the problems with our friend Matrix here would be resolved. Hypothetically, yes. Hypothetically, I have a solution for you, but I need to confide with you in private. And if anyone else has anything to add on to this and any other amendments to my proposed solution, I would be more than fine giving it. But, or I would allow it, but trust me when I say there are reasons why I want to talk with Copeland alone.
I mean, it's... you got country or landowners, rulers, whatever, talking to each other, so...
Second comment doesn't say anything, but she does, like, kind of look at Copeland and, like, fidget with her, the hilt of her sword, like, slightly, just, like, silently communicating the idea that she's, like, a little nervous about him going somewhere alone with this person who she doesn't really know anything about other than that he's incredibly powerful. But whether Copeland does anything about that is up to him.
Yeah.
And what,
and Hoshu
and what would
will
make
just...
you...
Sorry, you go
Yeah,
first.
no, Hoshu. Hoshu first.
Just in response to what Izuru is saying, no offense, but just the way that you said that just brings back to mind what I mentioned of walking nuclear warhead. Consider you're talking about a country's defenses, but fair enough. Just figured I'd put that out there. Sorry, you continue, Kakubo.
Yeah, about that. Who are you exactly? Yes, Izuru Andromeda, co-leader of the Bloodstone Isles. And potentially could have just the defenses for you, that you're looking for. But, again, we'd really need to confide in private just in case. Aha. It won't take long, just gonna be in a private isolation space, so... just sort of, looks at the rest of DBA, the rest of the DBA folks. If I'm, let's say if I'm not back in 45 minutes, you can, start alerting DBA that something wrong happened to Copeland Marsh, if you're really that nervous. But shouldn't even get to there. Yeah, Pilot?
No, I mean, I assume Izuru's about to fucking, Doctor Strange portal them out. So he's just making sure he wants to see this with his eyes. The
Just wants to see
teleportation.
what's happening.
He wants to
yeah.
see the teleportation technique to see if
Second
yeah.
comment's also just staring. Yeah, sorry. You finish. Sorry.
No, all I was gonna say is to see if they're going to the death dimension or
Yeah. And Izuru puts a hand on Copeland's shoulder, and a seeming like dome seems to form over the both of them as it flashes into a periwinkle light. And they are both gone.
Do you know where he took them, or
Do I?
that was to? I wish she was asking Matrix, but pilot's
that
also
too,
a good
though.
question.
Oh, yeah. Probably into a private pocket dimension spot. They can make plenty of those. So,
That's a torment nexus. Yeah.
Yeah. If I were to wager, it'd probably be a blank one. So, other than some brief shock at some anti-gravity shenaniganery, I don't imagine it'd be too harmful for a good old general. But yeah.
If he
I
were
imagine they're gonna
attempts
be
to try
fine.
anything, it would be rather foolish considering the collateral he left behind.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
just looks at him.
Yeah. But they should be out in a jiffy. Is we're gonna transition over.
What?
Yeah. We're gonna transition over. Can everyone see this place?
No.
No.
God, no. It's all black.
All right,
my guy.
let's. Well,
This is the torment nexus he'll be experiencing.
yeah, this is the Torment Nexus.
My favorite.
Yeah. Let me see if I can reveal areas. Please.
We'll see if Roll20 lets you.
Yeah. And while you're revealing area, right, I'm going to assume not, considering, how Izuru is, right? But let me phrase it like this. I assume that, unlike with Laos's dimensions, I can't see into this one.
Yeah. Let me. No, you can't.
I figured. I just needed to make sure. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Apparently, it's being meanie bobini. There we go.
There's probably just a weird difference between them, even without the Lexicide.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
the thing, right? Because obviously it's weird to kind of completely cognize it, because how the fuck do you quantify multiversal whatever who's it, right? But specifically because of the way that Laos's shit was working, of here are 5 to 6, or I think it was 5 split exactly parallel universes that in multiversal space are layered next to each other like this, with Laos's epithet making the barriers and Pilot being in all of them. Because of the weird multiversal space, that's something that theoretically he could see through. But this, if it's not
It's
right next to where we are, I imagine it wouldn't work like that. So
pretty much a no. If you couldn't tell, part of that was derived from Cyprus, which is a little different.
yeah, I know. Again,
So-
I'm just stating the logic in my head
Yeah.
as to why Pilot could see through that, but not this. So
Yeah, for sure. But we sit here in sort of a void-like place. Copeland, as predicted, is flailing in midair. Wow, what's going on? Hey, calm down, bud. Izuru's just sitting perfectly in midair as if there is an invisible chair. Now, I can get you pretty much any defense. I can pretty much set you up with things. Especially with what I've read up of your whole kingdom's mission. I mean, aside from having interest in making sure one of my good friends gets a situation and argument resolved, I genuinely wish the best for you and your people to do as your mission statement has intended. However, and we can get right into defense deals in a moment as just sort of Izuru waves a hand and Copeland seems to find a sort of an invisible chair and sits down. Still a little shaken, but situates himself. However, I imagine the answer is no, but I'm going to ask you for formality's sake. Before it can continue, are you signed up to the rules of monarchy? No. No, I'm not. Just sort of sighs. Well, Gray, I know you're watching. Let's just get this over with. As Zanza,
Right.
Should have
Yeah,
guessed.
yeah.
Should have guessed, everybody.
I had a feeling it would come up.
Yeah. So, flitting in, is, a certain ghost.
yeah, and let me get the fucking track that you play.
Yeah, whenever she shows up.
Yeah. Hey there. Yeah, you
Mhm.
got the whole Borders of Sanity or I, by the way.
I'm pretty sure it's I. The one that's labeled as her theme is her crit theme, I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha.
So it's the other one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, introducing someone. I imagine you can give the formalities, but
Uh-huh.
yeah. Just to get
Yeah, sorry. I've been sort of like doing other stuff. What is the brief recap?
brief recap is that Izuru brought Copeland in here and is potentially going to negotiate a defense deal with him. However, he's not signed up to the rules of monarchy because he's an isolationist kingdom that
Yeah, right.
lives off the land, so.
Yeah, so Regent Gray sort of flits in and goes, if you need to sign any kind of contract, of course, I'm available right here. Regent Red has had a contract available for you for quite a while. I'm sure she'd be happy if you signed it. Although she doesn't need to know the specific terms.
Alright, what's this about? Like, wait a minute, are you that group of people who wanted me to, like, join this whole board of fucking, like, imperialist whatever shit? Is that what this is all about?
I have no idea what you're talking about. All we do is try and keep a global sense of stability, you know? I'm sure you heard about that Pangeic Union that happened a couple decades back. You know? Some people tried to conquer the world. We're the kind of people who at least mitigate something like that from happening.
We're the kind of people who think that's really funny.
Well, I think it's a little humorous, but
And see, part of the things with rules of monarchy, any nation who signs up can't really deal with any other nation that's can't really deal with any other nation that isn't a part of it. And I understand why you'd want to not.
it would be a blatant conflict of interest, don't you think?
Yeah. So, listen, as much as testing that contract might be interesting, I have better things to do than to piss off people for no reason. So, yeah. Copeland just sort of like is almost like flabbergasted at this. Okay, so cool. You bring me into the fucking dark dimension, hoping to get me to broker a peace between someone trying to exploit my kingdom and trying to sign onto a thing of another person trying to exploit my kingdom. Yeah, like, come on. Like, can't can't me saying I want to be left alone be like taken seriously whatsoever? Come on.
Well,
Going from tourist exploitation to governmental exploitation. Come on. Yeah.
well, I'm here by request of Izuru, so it's up to him to try and convince you.
Izuru just sort of thinks over it for a moment. Gray. I might have a convincing argument for Mr. Marsh over here, but I will have to politely request that you don't reveal the information I'm about to say to anyone, including the other regions. Is that fine to you? I imagine you already kind of know what I'm about to say, but just for formality's sake.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise for everybody.
Well, all right then. This is probably going to take a bit, but let me explain to you the situation. And Izuru effectively goes on to talk to Copeland about something. These metaphorical cameras do not pick up on this conversation. But as things go on and on, I imagine Regent Gray gets a little kick out of what Izuru's saying. And even Copeland, staunchly defending his own nation, all this time, leans in, interested. And Izuru just sort of goes on and on, making some diagrams speaking about what he's thinking, and Copeland sort of nods along to it. The process takes, of Izuru's 45-minute threshold, the process takes about 42 to 43. It's a very long explanation. But at the end of it all, Izuru just looks to Copeland. Signing on might not be in your best interests. But I can confirm to you my allyship and all. With what I've said and with what I plan to do, do you think taking the contract would be in your best interests? Copeland just looks down a bit. Are you sure you can pull it off? I'm certain. Gray, we're going to have to talk about some extra terms, but I agree.
And do know that there's no going back from this.
Copeland looks at Izuru. Izuru looks at Copeland. Just give me the damn contract.
Then it's settled. She sort of snaps, and same in a similar way, a contract that seems to have been constructed a while ago and filed away for later flits in front of her, as she just sort of waves it over, and it moves to Copeland.
Copeland takes some time to look over the terms. He's looking over the terms and is going to say, well, if you rules of monarchy people are going to aren't an entity of yourself, if you could put some kind of ban on foreign companies in my country, I think that would make.
There's no
make
stipulations
Mr.
that you need to allow people in necessarily, other than the other regions.
Copeland looks over to Izuru again, and Izuru just nods, and Copeland just. We don't need to get into the specifics of it here, but Copeland would also negotiate a few more terms of protecting his kingdom, and then sign the paper.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Copeland Marsh. And then she vanishes.
Now I'm going to ask you one more time, Mr. Andromeda. You sure you got it handled? And Izuru would just nod one more time. If I didn't think I'd have it handled, I wouldn't have signed on myself. But now officially, just sort of walks over. I can officially say this. If anyone even thinks about attacking your country or destabilizing it in any way, they're messing with me, the Pentagon of Power, and all of our resources. And we'll stop at nothing to defend. He extends a hand. Copeland just shakes it. And now with your country utterly secured, do you think you can at least hear out, my friend? Well, if you're going to be doing all this for me, I see no reason why not to pay it back in kind. Let's go. Let's get out of this damn place. And with that, with another periwinkle flash, they go back to the funny building.
Yeah, they hop back in. Hoshi's like halfway through, like, so he said that, but like, who would we even call? I don't.
Yeah.
That was a logistical thing we did not have the time to confirm about before he just left.
Yeah. Suspicious. Layer.
Second Comet is
Ah!
charging. Second Comet's charging her cannon as she stares at Matrix.
Wait, hold up. Just gonna move this out of the way. Layer, gem layer. And, yeah, 2 of them are back.
Okay, well, that's a good thing at least. So, how did it go?
Powering down main cannon.
Alright. Matrix, I'm willing to hear you out. Provided that, my whole administration is in charge of your poor scheme, you can bring people here, but we're gonna have to talk really hard about it. Just sort of, puts hands behind head. Well, see, that's what I like to hear.
Oh,
Thank you very much. Just sort of like finger guns to Izuru. Thank you very much, pal. Not a problem. Yeah.
well, that went well then.
Yeah.
And
Pilot, you just sort of,
yeah,
Pilot, you take a look at Copeland. And can you read emotions off of, looking at people?
let me see. I don't.
I mean,
think so.
I mean, sometimes you can with your normal eyes.
yeah, with
but
normal eyes, but the specific effect of his outclass is, quote, he gains descriptions of anything that he looks at, including at certain hidden properties or mechanics. For example, he can immediately tell what a debuff does or understand the composition of a poison. Further analysis can grant more information. This can only tell physical or supernatural information about an object. So, for example, you can't find out things like who made this item or something metaphysical like that, though you can attempt a general vibe check.
So if you wanted to check Copeland's current vibe, he would have to roll for it.
Yeah. We'll do that if you want. I was just
Sure,
thinking
yeah.
about
I have
that, but-
I have another question regarding
Yes.
you know, stuff once this is settled, but you know.
You can kind of see the words for like conflicted, semi-regret, hopeful, very conflicted feelings within Copeland right now.
Yeah. And now this isn't normally something I'd be asking, right? Because like it's not like Pilot at the moment knows of her, right? So it's not like he's actively looking for her, right? But considering he was keeping track of where they teleported in and presumably teleported back, and because specifically in the outclass, it mentions things that, you know, don't fully exist, explicitly mentioning Gray, is there any trace or anything I can see upon them returning? Or I assume not, but...
Considering Zanza wants to make a call, who knows?
I would say no, explicitly because that was in another dimension you couldn't see in.
I know. I'm more so saying like, oh, did I'm just trying to see if there's any trace of her, because it's not like Pilot.
She might still be working.
Yeah,
somewhere.
that's sort of what I mean, because Pilot would have no reason to look for her because again he doesn't know that she exists yet. But like, if they appeared and she's lurking in the Bicky background because she was actively called in, then he might see her, which is a funny little thing. I just wanted to know if that was a circumstance. Literally only because the passive by name mentions her as an example. So, you know.
I think she's probably always there in somewhere in the frame when he's like looking around. So
I don't know.
He might. If he were to catch a glimpse of her, he probably doesn't immediately associate her with what just happened.
Yeah, of course.
I'll say that's what's going on. It's like if she's like around, you pay her no mind because you see her
she's
all the
almost
time.
always around for this bullshit because that's the joke. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I just figured it because I didn't realize that Zanza jumped up to an upper call. I thought he was still here and I could ask him these questions. But
it's all good. It's all good.
All right, fine. That's fine. That's that.
Might catch a glimpse of her. Actually, you know what? I'll distract Pilot Beetle Bob. So you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Thank you.
Second comment.
No problem.
I assume Copeland's sitting down now.
Yeah.
Second comment would just sort of like hover over her. And again, she isn't saying anything and doesn't really have much of an expression, but she does just like put her human hand on Copeland's shoulder, just, you know, trying to see if he's holding up fine.
It's sort of like, as like the rigid general man, he's sort of like, why are you touching me, mortal? But like he sort of like just sort of like understands what the intention is and just sort of nods and like sort of like doesn't like push you away, but like gives you like an I'm fine motion of sorts.
Yeah, she'd pull her hand back.
Yeah. I imagine negotiate.
Robo Kakapo.
Oh no.
Negotiate indeed.
We almost got all the way through.
Almost. There were some Roboto
I can't
parts,
believe
but he was
because
always
you're-
legible.
All right. Can people hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, hello.
I imagine negotiations between the three of us, motions to the two Bloodstone peeps, are going to be a bit long, so I'm not going to bother you down. with any of that, but I do think we can reach a equitable conclusion now that things have been talked over. Yeah.
I don't mind staying
Matrix
for as long as you.
Hmm?
I don't mind staying for as long as you desire my presence.
Stay as long as you think your negotiating power is needed.
She nods, but like has no idea what that means.
Yeah.
She then just says, "My companions, however, I suspect are quite exhausted from the long day's events. So, I do not
Yeah.
require rest, however."
Between that and also me needing to now schedule Monkbat and his multiple materials onto an envoy, I would like to return home.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, at least.
Oh, yeah. I imagine I can port this over to Hoshu, for payment, but, sort of opens the vaults. Yeah, he opens the vaults. There's money. Yeah. Here's all of what you'll be getting. It's a lot of money. Here's all of what
Here's
you'll be
all
getting.
my money.
Yeah. Divided between yourselves. And I cannot thank you enough for it. Returning the people here and getting out all these grudges to a reasonable conclusion at the very least. Also, Hoshu, real quick, Copeland's going to, get a quest, a silver tier, hop up to silver tier and get this quest.
Hatch
there
a
we go.
monster egg.
Right.
This fucking asshole. Dinosaurs count, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's an easy one for him.
No, dinosaurs are normal monsters, or normal creatures, not monsters.
Oh, right. Go, okay.
Yeah. I'll see how I can do that, but... Yeah, just...
Well, considering the lack of magic in this land, I'm going to assume it's difficult. Anyways.
Probably.
Farewell, Hoshu.
But yeah. Farewell. I'll get you as many of this. Wait, yeah. I'll get you as many of this as. I'll evenly divide this between the 5 of you. Including Emerald, but yeah. And as
Right.
Copeland's preparing things, does anyone have anything else to do?
Not in particular.
Well, yeah. To close
I
this...
would like to escape.
Yeah. I'll bet you would, Penny.
Escape this asshole! Explosion,
Ah!
like...
My other spleen that I stole from a child.
Oh man, that's fucked up.
Please, feel bad for me.
But yeah, to close this out, you all part your ways, head on home. Second Comet, Matrix, Izuru, and Copeland stay to talk and figure out how to do this better. But, Copeland, Copeland eventually pays you your dues, and you all get an incredibly hefty bounty. Gold, platinum, rare jewels, and currency galore.
Second comment
You
would
all-
just give her share to be further divided because she doesn't really care about currency.
For
but
sure.
yeah.
I imagine she could bring that up, and Copeland would just divide it as is. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But
This is
regardless-
where Pilot got his some of his extra spending money for the candy he brought into the Christmas episode.
I'd imagine you'd have a little left over. So
Well,
you know,
no, I'm not saying it's all of it. I'm just saying it's where he got some of his spending cash.
for sure. But regardless, you all collect your bounty, head your separate ways, and all in all, mission successful. And we can finally after 8 fucking months, put a close on this final bookend to DBA episode 187, Copeland's Most Wanted.
Whoa!
Yay, thank you, friend.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to Zanza for that final scene. I'm very excited for shit from that to unfold, but it might take a bit. But yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, things can now go into motion, and it's very, very exciting.
Matrix?
But
Such
we don't
as
have much.
DBA, episode 197, Never Catch Me, for example.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a random example of
Episode.
something.
Well, I'm looking forward to episode 192, guys.
Oh
yeah, I can't wait.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be really cool. I'm looking
I
forward to
think it'll be
episode.
probably on the shorter end, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for personally. I'm hearing about those entrance exams in episode 191, and actually,
Yeah, it sounds
you know,
like a cool
I'm
and
also,
refreshing new idea.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm also kind of looking forward to Liriella to be saved, because that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna kill her off, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
actually, cool.
I
Same with me
changed
and
my
Amaya.
mind.
Let's just kill off. the
After we do
characters,
all
you
that,
know,
I think we
like-
could save Hope.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we still alive?
Yeah, yeah.
You're just stupid.
You know, like
You silly
Yeah, like-
way. That was 37 days ago in
Oh.
episode 150.
Oh.
creatively, there's a flux time scale.
Oh.
But you know.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh.
Well,
Oh.
And no, I mean 37 real life days, Kakapo. We do one of these a day.
Oh, right.
one per day.
Oh, yeah. No, if of course. Yeah, we're on the grind.
Yeah.
But yeah, regardless, ring us out, Soul.
Well, everybody, if you enjoyed yourselves,
You're new around here, and you want to know when, where, how, why, you can catch up with more of the things we're doing here on this Twitch channel, whether it's more DBA, its related spin-offs such as this, or anything else, tabletop game or otherwise. You should make sure to join our wacky Discord server. Fine dining! Oh, yeah, there it is! Go there to get notified when we're going live, or we're going live. Post memes and fan art related to the streams that we do that will show off at the end, and bada bing, bada boom. Follow and sub to the channel if you haven't already as well. Helps out a lot and also keeps you in the know. Thank you all so much for watching. Couldn't do this the way we do it without all of you. It's always a great time, so thank you. And of course, big thank you to all my fellow co-conspirators here, along with the biggest of thanks to Kakapo for running episode 187 and now this short little follow-up. So thank you to everybody involved.
Yeah.
And yeah, with all that being said, until next time, thank you all, and last time, good night, and say goodbye to chat.